Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shama and today I'm gonna be covering the missing frog boys case, which is a really famous case in South Korea. So before that, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so to be notified every time I upload a new video. So let's get started. The 26th of March 1991 was a public holiday in South Korea because the local democratic elections were being held for the first time in 30 years. So in the early morning between 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning, five boys Woo Chen-won, Jo Ho-yeon, Kim Young-gyu, Park Chan-in, and Kim Jung-sik, who were between 9 and 13-year-old, decided to go play together. That was a public holiday, like I said, so there was nothing to do, so they decided to go outside and play. They were best friends and they loved to play together, and they were kind of they used to go everywhere. Whenever they need to go outside, they need to play, whatever they were doing together. And there was also one 10-year boy whose name was T Rong, and he was also playing with them, but later he went to have breakfast because he had not had breakfast, and if he would leave, he would not eat his breakfast, his mother would scold him, so he decided to go and have his breakfast. And at the time when they were the other five boys were playing outside, a neighbor scolded them because they were being so loud. They decided to go bring salamander egg in the nearby stream of Mount Waryang. So they started their journey and they were holding sticks and tin boxes, and they were going by dancing and playing and using the tin as a drum, and were making some random music and all, drumming and all. And they were going, and that was the time when a lot of people saw them going up the hill. Now one side of the mountain was a pond, and behind the pond was the military shooting base, and the other side of the mountain was a farm. When the sun started setting, the parents got really worried why the boys have not come. So they started searching in the village, and then they knew from someone that the boys were last time seen in the mountain. So they went to the mountain to search for the boys, and they searched the whole mountain. And let me tell you, the mountain was not really deep, so one cannot be really get lost inside the mountain, so it was easy to search at a time. So they searched the whole mountain top and all, and they did not find the boys, so they got really worried. And once it started becoming dark, they called the police and they told them that their sons were not found. And the police, they said that it must have been a ran away situation, must be your children ran away from the house, and this is not a missing case definitely. But parents were so sure that the children were missing, and they tried to convince the police, but they really didn't helping anything. So they didn't do anything. And after the missing of the boys, 3 days after, John Sik's father got a prank call, or someone called him, and the guy who was on the phone, he said that he had the five boys and he want money in the exchange of the boys, and two of the boys were already so sick and not really well. So the fathers all decided to give the money. So when the caller said them that gave them a location and also the said the amount, and parents and the police all went there having money with them, but no one really came to pick the money. So they again felt like they could not find their boys. And the local news media also was not giving a lot of attention to the case, and after I think 1 week they started giving some attention, and that's when for the first time they published a case, a headline, and the headline was that 5 boys got missing after going for the search of frog eggs. And from that headline actually this case become the frog boys, or they become frog boys, because salamander egg is not a really common word for a lot of people, so they wanted to give a name that was easier to understand. So salamander is not really understandable for a lot of people, so they said frog eggs, and that's why this case is called the Frog Boys. On 4th of May, all the 5 parents of the children, they went on a show or TV show whose name was the Square of Public Opinion, where they receive calls on topics, and also there would be some live audience, and they also participate on the debate. And there they went to find out if anyone knows about their children, or they may could have some evidence or some tracks and all. So they went there so that they could find a way, but this thing did not give them any help. But definitely this show gave the topic or the case a lot more attention than before. So what happened in this show is that all the 5 parents were there, and there were a lot of calls were coming, and all of a sudden one particular call came where the person from in like other side of the phone, that person was crying and asking for John 6 mother, and it was sounded like John Sick was crying and sobbing. So immediately they called her mother, and before the mother could reach the phone, the call cut, and then they tried to then call the number, and it was a prank call. Later they found out. So like I said, nothing happened, no lead, nothing. But definitely because of this thing, a lot of people now interested in this case, and they wanted to know what actually had happened with them. So with this thing, a lot of known people knew, and that's why the president Roh T.U. ordered a massive manhunt by the police and military to find them. 300,000 people, police, military, volunteers, all searched the place more than 500 times, and no leads. They got no evidence, they got no shoes, no clothes, no evidence, no body, nothing they could find, and it was a dead end every single time they searched the place. So now the witnesses, so one of the boy's friend came out and said that he and his brother and his father also went for salamander egg collection, and there they heard around 11:30 a.m. two screams of one of the boys, and it was 10 seconds apart, and they are really sure that that scream was one of the boys. But this statement was also cut down, because also two boys came out after this statement, and they said that they had seen the boys around 12 p.m. in the mountain, and the boys said them that they were going to search for bullet casing, and so it was clear that they were alive even at 12 p.m. So the boy who was told that he heard scream of one of the boys at 11:30 a.m., that was not true, or maybe he had heard that sound, but that was not the boys. So yeah. And later also two more friends came out, and they said that they also saw the five boys around 2 p.m. in the afternoon when they were coming back from the mountain, and they were perfectly fine around 2 p.m. So the police was not doing anything for the parents. So the parents decided that they will take the case on their hand and they will search for the boys. So they rented a mini truck and they searched the whole area, or maybe around the city and all, for 3 years. And in 3 years they never came back to home. They left their job, and the whole 3 year they were just searching for the boys. And gradually their money all just finished, and they put into a great debt. And so they finally get back to home, and now they had nothing. They did not have their children, they did not have money, they didn't have any hope. Nothing was really going well in their life. And also the money also went on other sources, like they were distributing pamphlets of the boys, they were doing interviews with the spend of their own money, they were giving megaphone alerts or something. I mean, they were searching with the megaphone, like they were telling people if they know this and that person, then please contact to them. So these things they were doing. They were going to TV shows. So all the other things that they did actually spend a lot of money there. So that's why they had no money. And the saddest part is that later John Sick's father died of liver cancer, and a lot of people believe that it also happened because he was in great emotional trauma. He was stressed, he had been humiliated by a lot of sick and twisted people. So he was really going through a lot. The five families were going through a lot, but John Sick was particularly blamed a lot also. So that's why maybe that caused his death. And right after his death, after 1 year, the boys remaining found. So on 26 September 2002, one old man had gone to the mountain to collect some acorns, and that's when he saw some bones and all, and he immediately called police, because obviously this case was so big in that area. So everyone knew that if anyone gets any clue, they will definitely gonna call the police. So they called police, and police came and they dig the whole area, and they got all the remainings. The remainings means the bones they found out, and the shoes and clothes all. And the remainings were found in a very strange way. The remainings were it was as if all the boys were massed on one upon another, and it seemed like they were naked at the time of their death. So their clothes were in a different way, and their bodies were in a different way, as if they were naked while they were buried. And all the clothes were tied in a very particular way, just to not miss any clue kind of thing. I mean, all the boys' shirts sleeves were tied together, and it was really very suspicious, to be very honest. And when they untied the knots, they found unused bullets, and that arises the question actually, that why military never ever answered this question, never tried by themselves to find out if there was any body in the mountain. And the boy's body were found just 100 or 200 meter away from the military shooting area. So the remains were also handled in a very bad way. I mean, they were letting touch everyone, the remains and the shoes. The parents even touched the bodies and all. Not, there was no body, but the bones and the clothes and all. And yeah, and after just the discovery of the boys remains, the police declared that the boys were died out of hypothermia, which is not really believable. Parents obviously didn't believe this thing, and they demanded to a proper forensic report. So the bodies were examined, and it was found out that two boys had shot by bullets. The other three boys were kind of killed with a sharp object. And again, the bodies were found in that particular area on the mountain. So how the police, the military searched the whole place 500 times, or maybe more than 500 times, and never got a clue. I mean, that was already there. So a lot of people believe that it has something to do with the police or the military. So this is what information I have in this topic, or in this case. And there is no perfect or clear answer of how the boys were killed and who killed them, but a lot of theories were roaming around from the day the bodies were found. So I'll tell you the most popular theories. Yeah. So the first theory is that there are some people who live near the mountain or on the top of the mountain, who actually kill human and eat their liver, and maybe those people eaten them, what a lot of people believe. And the second theory is that some hunters were there, and that was a spot where hunting also happened. So some people believe that there were some hunters who were hunting, and accidentally they killed two boys, and just to cover the boys, or maybe the boys were really frantically moving here and there, or ran around, and just to shut them they killed them. This is also a theory. And the third theory, and the most popular theory, is that one of army men was practicing shooting, and he accidentally hit two boys, and the two boys were died there. And just to cover the crime again, they killed the other three boys with the back of their gun, and they hid the body there. And when the time came to search, they just searched on the top and never really took any kind of wide search, and that's how they fooled the people. This is what people believe, and this makes a lot of sense too, because the bodies were found just 100 to 200 meter away from the shooting range, so it can be happen, but no one really knows what actually happened. And yeah, we don't know. A lot of other theories were also there, but I don't believe on them, and those are not also really popular. So these three are the most popular ones, and I just let you know that. So that's it, and let me know what is your thoughts in this case, and what do you think, what do you believe, what is the most believable theory that you kind of believed on, or if you know anything else about this theory, or if know anything else about the whole case, then let me know, and I hope I'll see you in my next video. So bye.